What's up, everyone? I'm Scott,
And I'm Jason.
and you are listening to Liquid Courage, my friend. The month of February is here. It is Super Bowl week. You are in the heart of the sports mecca right now. That is Phoenix, Arizona, with the Waste Management Open, the Super Bowl, and all the celebrities and music. How many people are flocking to your house to party this weekend?
No one's flocking to party. No one's flocking to party. This is one time of the year where we probably could have made a small fortune if we just Airbnb'd our house, but unfortunately, we had to work and do all that stuff, so we did not get to Airbnb our house. But
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Because you guys are very close to where the Waste Management Open is, and very close to where a lot of the Scottsdale parties are for all the NFL festivities this week. So,
well, and Scott, obviously we're recording before this happened, so I don't know who was all there, but Noreen got invited to go to the Pro Am Day on Wednesday
oh,
to go. And I had to chuckle because she's reading a list of a few of the names, and she goes, "Okay, Alex Rodriguez. I think I would recognize him. There's Albert Pujols.
Albert
Pujols.
Pujols.
Is that someone?" I went, "No, no, you cannot go around saying who is this person, who is that person." You just keep
Right?
your mouth shut and let someone talk and say, "Oh, there's Albert Pujols," or "Oh, hey, there's this player." Please do not say who's Albert Pujolis, Pujols. Who is this? I was like, "Oh God, please let
That
me
is
go
a
in your
moment
stead."
where you wish, like, babe, I should just go with you just for your own, you know, help me help you by going with you to this event
Yeah,
and
yeah.
helping you
So,
enjoy this.
so she's gonna be there all day. Like I said, we're recording before the event, so she's supposed to be there all day from 11 o'clock until the nighttime concert that they have that night.
Yeah,
So,
they turned the whole 16th hole into a concert this year too for the pro am stuff. So that should be
yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah. I mean, I'm so envious of her. I mean, that just it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping because I know Larry Fitzgerald he'll be there.
yeah.
I'm not quite sure if Charles Barkley will be here, but I think J.J. Watt's supposed to be there too. I
Oh, that'd be
think.
fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a
So,
lot
and
of
she
fun.
does know Larry Fitzgerald, and she does know what J.J. Watt looks like. So I've given her, some
So,
prep. She goes,
so,
"I would know who Alex Rodriguez is, and if Dwayne Johnson's there, I'm going to ask if I could hold his shaft and balls." And I went, "No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
No, babe, you
no,
can't do that.
no, no. You're not that close of a buddy to him. You cannot say that."
So yeah, so you normally go to Vegas because you have some friends up there that you watch the game with,
Yeah.
at the party.
Every year they do. They rent a big table at a outside event area, and it's $110 or $100, and with the $100 you get entrance into this seating or this area, and basically $100 worth of drinks.
That's not bad.
So,
Uh,
so yeah, so it's we didn't go last year because we were in Nashville that year, and that was the year obviously that the Rams won the Super Bowl. But
Well, I would enjoy it this year because I don't think you'll have it next year with the Super Bowl in Vegas. So I imagine those ticket prices will probably quadruple, just because the event will be down the road.
oh, they're going to be in, yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I
Yeah,
relish it this year because I
yeah,
might Airbnb my house next year, since it's so close.
yeah. No,
The
I would
120
imagine.
mile trek could be worth it to some people.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
Well,
yeah, but that was our event. Yeah, and it's been crazy here. I mean, it's I'm they've already rerouted all the traffic in our little area. So Noreen, what normally takes her about 15 minutes to get to work, took her 35 today.
uh,
So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a zoo.
well, while you're out there living that fancy lifestyle, Janice has gone to Texas to help take care of her mom, who's hurt her back for a little bit. So it is just her oldest and I living the bachelor lifestyle today, or for the next little while.
Okay, yeah.
And it's fun for me because I'm baseball started for coaching, so I'm coaching baseball again this year. And her oldest is she's in sixth grade, so she can take care of herself till I get home, do her homework or whatnot. But it's funny because she and I get along very well. She's an old soul. And she just says the funniest things. We had to go to Walmart last night to get some stuff for her Valentine's Day dance this week. And her mom is in very much of a panic because she's not here to help her get ready for the Valentine's Day dance. And
Oh, okay.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So we don't know what that's going to look like, but go. Yeah. Okay.
exactly. But before she left, they were already working on like how to do the hair and whatever else. So I think all I have to do is play chauffeur and take pictures on Thursday. But I've had to find some friends some friends, female friends that are available to help with hairstyles if issues were to pop up, because I can do a lot of things, but I cannot do hair for teenage girls at dances.
Oh,
It's not a thing. So
God. Sorry, dude. That's just funny. Yeah. There's
so
certain things that you can do great. That's not one of them.
well, exactly, and it's funny because we were talking, over dinner one night, and when I say dinner, it's I'm getting home late, so it's something quick and easy, and she can eat and get back to homework. And I said, I'm not sure, I think your mom will be back next week, but until then, we're living the bachelor lifestyle. So I'm gonna show you the ways. You're the one they talk about in the prophecy, making that joke. And she just straight up looked at me and said, "Does that mean we're gonna start putting the tape back in the pantry? Because
What?
I used to put Scotch tape and all my duct tape like in the pantry where my food is, so I knew where it was at. I
Oh,
just knew it was
God.
there, and,
And mom stopped that real quick.
and her mom stopped that real quick when they moved in. So she just
That's
deadpan
good,
looked at me
dude.
and said, "Does that mean we put the tape back in the pantry until mom
Yeah.
gets back?" I
That's
was like,
awesome.
you know what? Yeah, if we need it, that's where it's going, because I don't know
Yeah.
where it's at right now, and I hope you do.
That's awesome. That is
So,
so awesome, dude. Oh, I love it. I
so
absolutely love it.
she and I are we are getting along very well. She will help me get ready for the Super Bowl this weekend. We have some friends coming over for it, so she could care less about the game, but she understands there are squares, there is food, and there is people coming over. So she's very excited for that.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
That'll be
yeah, I
good.
think so. I think
That'll be
so.
good.
But like I said, it's nice to have friends you can call in a pinch that are willing to come help with hair issues for dances, because Lord knows um, I couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, you'd be saying, "Oh, that looks good.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything. It looks great, man.
oh,
You'll be
that's
fine.
great. That's what we're
Great.
doing. We're going with
You
this.
do
That's
you.
great.
You do you. You do
So
you."
that is truly where you learn the difference between friends and acquaintances.
Yeah, yeah,
You
because
know?
only true friends will actually go to that level to come help you.
Yeah, I think so. And even acquaintances will sometimes, but those are people you have to call last. Yeah, I don't want to say last second or last, but they're not the ones you'd be like, you know what? I guess I can call them, but they're not really the ones I would normally call for this.
Right, right. Yeah,
So
no, yeah, and there's a lot of people who will say they'll help, right? Like, oh, just do this, but then when it comes down to it, they don't. They
yeah, and
don't.
I guess that's the other side too. It's when you start talking about it, it's we all say this to people, and it's always a nice gesture of, hey man, if you need anything, just let me know. You're going through a pinch right now. If you need something, let me know. And you can tell when someone says it, they're just being polite, versus like when a friend says it, they're down. So,
Right. Yeah.
and that's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. We throw around the word friend real loose in this society.
Yeah,
I find that I have conversations with people, and this is a common thing I hear. Oh, a buddy of mine. Oh, I have a buddy of mine that will help you with that. Or oh, I have a buddy that. Well, okay, what does that mean when someone says they have a buddy?
well, I think social media has changed the perception of what friends are, quote unquote, because you have Facebook friends. So you might have 1,000 Facebook friends, but how many of those people could you pick up the phone and call tomorrow and say, "Hey, I need help move a couch," or "Do you want to come over and have dinner this weekend," or "Do you want to do something?"
Right.
There might be 5 to 10 people in total. So
Maybe.
I think
Maybe. Yeah.
I think the friend word gets used way more than it should. But in that same respect, we have work friends. You have friends from work, people you work with 40 hours a week, maybe sometimes more. You deal with the work life with. You have friends that you play sports with, that you've grown up with. Friends you have, like close friends, your inner circle. So there's different types of friends to have too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a statement, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. The fewer friends you have, the closer those friends are.
Um, I want to believe that's the case. I think we all want to believe that's the case. We only keep a few close friends, but at the end of the day, um, what what we judge as close with someone, that person might judge it as something completely different. You know, there's a lot of cases where I've seen people think they're really close with somebody, and you talk to that person they think they're close with, and say, "Oh yeah, I know your close friend so and then they could just say, "Yeah, we're really not that close. We just work together." It's all about perception.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I know for a fact that there's a certain group of my friends. I mean, there are levels, right? There's levels of the closeness that you know. For example, the people that you work with might be your friends, but that level of friendship is so much lower than a level that is, hey, if I had nothing and I needed a place to stay, this person would give me a place to stay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now you still may call them your friends. Oh, I got a friend at work who does this or does that, but the reality is that um, you know that definition of the levels, the closeness of the levels around you, those friendships mean something a little bit different.
yeah. And I think when it comes to that, you don't necessarily have to talk to your friends on a regular basis or do everything with your friends. I mean, we have friends that do different things, but I think you would define a friend as something you have a common interest with that you bond over on some level. And, you can spend time with each other talking about that. And to me, that's what a friend is. You know,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
an acquaintance for me, my perspective is, yeah, I play ball. I have a softball team I play on. I know that guy. He plays right field. I don't see him any other time but softball season. I see him Tuesdays and Thursdays when he shows up. He plays right field, and we occasionally have a beer together. I know his name is Steve. That's it.
Okay. Okay. No, okay. So I look at it a little differently. So to me, an acquaintance would be usually I equate because the reason why I would have trouble with that is based on your definition of a friend. You do something with this person on a regular basis. You have something in common with that person on a regular basis. It seems like the softball player that you play every year on the same softball team is more than just an acquaintance.
Well, if you hung out with him more than just softball fields, if you stopped and you had a couple beers with them, or whatever else, I say to me that's an acquaintance because you can look at it and say, yeah, that's Steve. And Steve and I play in the same softball team. Well, what does Steve do? I don't know. I mean, is Steve married? I don't know. Maybe. I see him with someone at the fields every so often. It's if you don't take the time to actually get to know any other aspect of their life, is to me what establishes an acquaintance between a friend.
Okay. Okay. So I have Noreen has a friend in Phoenix, has a group of friends that the woman is very close to, and from time to time we get invited to join them for an event. Like this year we got invited to a Christmas party, and they were all there. And
Mm-hmm.
I look at all those people as acquaintances
Yeah.
because I know you, I hang out with you in in social events. We're cordial to each other. I know a little bit about your life, but I am not anything more than acquaintance in the sense of we don't hang out together. We don't spend any time other than this social event that we're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah. I
or a
can see.
dinner that we go to.
I can see that. I would also define an acquaintance as someone like if I pass you in the grocery store and we know each other, we can nod, say hello, but we're not going to stop and take up 10 minutes clogging up the aisle because we just have to catch up on everything. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And in this realm, like in my definition, how many acquaintances do you know?
I have a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah, I do too. I have a lot of people that when I lived in Kingman, I had a lot of people that I knew that if we were at a social event, I could say, "Hey, how you doing?" and we'd have start talking, and had no problem.
Yeah.
I would never consider them a friend, I would consider them an acquaintance.
Yeah, I would say the peripherals of my occupation and personality have given me a lot of acquaintances in this world, in this town, in Phoenix and in the area. But like I said, for me though, if they're a friend, there's someone I can pick up the phone, call, message, whatever, and say, hey, you know, let's go do this together, or when we have this upcoming thing at work, or whatever it is we do together, pitch ideas back and forth, talk about things, and have open dialogue about the common interests. You know,
Yeah. And I think you said something earlier that always sticks in my mind too. And I don't know if you've run into this, but um, I don't know if you have LinkedIn or not. Do you have
yeah,
LinkedIn?
I do.
Well, LinkedIn, invariably, I get requests from people to be connected to that I don't know. I've never met them. I've never heard of them, but maybe we work at the same company.
Yeah,
Or, well, this person knows Scott, and that's why you're getting connected to them. And it is kind of eerie because sometimes I think, why are you just reaching out to a complete stranger
yeah.
to become linked to? And maybe it's this new idea of what an acquaintance is. It doesn't really matter if we know each other. It doesn't really matter if
Well,
we hang out, if we have anything in common. As long as we're connected, then my circle of connections and who knows me and is big enough where I feel validated as a person.
I think that goes with the aids of social media.
Yeah.
That opens up more connections, because I know someone that you might know, or you know maybe it's someone that you want to go up and say hi to them or whatever else.
Yeah.
Starts off as acquaintance online, and then you start interacting from there. I actually have an interesting kind of funny, strange story about that. When you mentioned LinkedIn, it kind of made me laugh. um, we have a VP of marketing and communications position open in my organization right now, and one of the candidates and I were apparently LinkedIn connections,
Oh.
and I had no idea. Like, I was one of those guys, like you said, they just go down the list and they click, connect and whatnot. And when the interview got scheduled, one of the people in the department, I'm no longer in that department, called me and said, hey, this guy you're connected to on LinkedIn, we're interviewing him. What do you know about him? And I had to be straight. I'm like, I have no idea. I said, clearly I've interacted with them at some point because we're LinkedIn connections, colleagues, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know them on that level to where I could say yay, nay, or kiss my ass. And what's funny is, we had him out for a site visit, and um, not anything like I expected. It was definitely an adventure. I'll talk about it at a later date offline, but um, you got to be careful who you connect with, because you never know when you might actually run into them in real life. So I would advise anyone, uh, if you're going to connect on LinkedIn or social media, make sure you actually know these people at some point. Otherwise, it gets kind of weird. You know?
Do you think that the definition of or the needs of friendship and acquaintances, because of all the social media, that there's been stories out there that said that we live in a world now that's so less connected physically, right? Where
Yeah.
everyone kind of sticks to themselves, that the idea of having at least a network of acquaintances somehow connects us and gives us a sense of, hey, I'm not alone. I'm at least connected. I got 3,200 people on LinkedIn, or I got 500 people on Facebook, and that is what gives people a sense of validation of their lives.
I think it gives some people a false sense of validation of their lives, because you can add anybody and they can choose to accept, or they can choose not to. But just
Yeah.
you have that little number that says, you know, I have this many friends or this many connections. This means I'm popular. No, it means you have that many people that say, okay, I guess, and they click okay, unless you interact with them on a regular basis, whether it be in commenting on stuff or calling them or texting them. I consider a friend someone I have contact information for, and I can like I said, text, call, message, whatever, and they can pick up or not just hit ignore because they don't know who I am.
Well, and you know, because I kind of have an old school feeling of a friend. I mean, there are certain people in this world that if they called me and said, "I have nothing, everything has been taken away from me, and I need help," I would be there to help them.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, like those are the type of people that I qualify as friend, as a friend. You know, where when the chips are down, they know that when they call me, they don't have to worry about, oh, I don't think I can do that, or oh, I don't feel. They know, okay, you just tell me when you need me there, and I'm there.
yeah,
That to me, that is what a friend is, and that friendship circle that I have is pretty small,
yeah,
but I'm okay with that. Like, I don't need to have a big circle of acquaintances and friends to validate that I'm not alone in this world.
yeah.
And
That's
I just feel like I feel like people use the circle, the size of the circle, instead of the quality of the circle as the guidance of what their value is to friends and friendships. Like it's better for them to have 10 million followers than to have three people that they would lay their lives down for me.
yeah. It's funny is you want to find out who your friends are. Ask someone to help you move. And that's the honest to God, I think, baseline um determining factor. And it sounds very, very soft to say and kind of dumb, but man, if you want to find out who your real friends are, ask someone to help you move. And if they say yes, then they value that. But if they come up with an excuse, you know, not to, and maybe there's something valid. Don't get me wrong. Just to say, some people just honestly can't for whatever reason. But I think that question alone, or I need help with something that's heavy, moving something heavy, lifting, whatever else. I think you find out, moving a hot tub, you find out who your real friends are at moments like that.
Yeah, that's a good designation. It happens all the time with famous people when they get down on their luck and everything falls apart,
Yeah,
and all these people that, oh, that's my best friend, oh, and they're gone, and then there's like one person that is still there, and what is their comment is always the same. The person who's down on their luck says, "I learned who my true friends were."
yeah,
My true friends. And and in those moments, I always wonder when I read those, is that, so are have you redefined what kind of people you want to bring into your orbit now? Because it's very frustrating when you feel like you have all these people that like you and all these people that think the world of you and you're so great, and then when the shit hits the fan, no one wants to talk to you.
yeah. That's really interesting that you say it like that too, because everyone finds this out differently on their own times. That I am terrible. I'll be the first one. I am terrible at keeping up with some people. My life gets busy and I forget. Like I have, between Janice and the girls, my home life is busy, work gets busy, and these other extracurricular activities. You have to keep up on your friends too, and that's not always easy. And sometimes you just don't reach out. You forget to reach out, and it's nothing personal. It's just that life gets busy, but you should be able to pick back up at any point in time and say, "Hey, man," because you get it. You're in the same stage of life. Like, let's reconnect. Things are slowing down for both of us right now, so it's time. You know.
Yeah, and I think that the friends that I have, they know what my thoughts are about them. They know that if I don't talk to them for a long time, it's not a personal thing. It's not a flaw on them or something. Sometimes you're right. Life does get busy, but um, when it gets busy and you can still be there and they know, hey, I'm here for you. That's not even a concern. It makes a huge difference. Now that being said, I don't mind that, like, my LinkedIn has all these connections. I
Hmm.
guess I just don't put value into LinkedIn connections, or I don't put value into Facebook
Yeah.
connections of friendships. And maybe I should, maybe that's a personal thing that I would appreciate more if I had more investment into those acquaintance type of relationships. I just don't know how to do it. I just don't know,
Well,
because a friendship to me is a special thing. It's not amass as many people as possible to fulfill that I'm loved.
I think everybody looks at social media very differently when it comes to how they view friendships and whatever else. Some people put their entire life on social media. It doesn't matter their stupid thoughts, what they had for a mid afternoon snack, pictures of everything they do in their life. I made a conscious decision a long time ago. All I put on social media. You very rarely do you ever get an actual glimpse of my life. With Janice and the girls, you will like on major holiday stuff, but mostly it's food, my dogs, and memes.
Yep.
I will occasionally troll Janice on there for fun, and she will occasionally troll me on social media. But you get very rarely will you get like intimate personal stuff. And I'm terrible at taking pictures of those events anyway, so it's always fun for me to see when we have friends that post pictures of stuff, things we do together, because that means someone else was smart to take those pictures. So I appreciate that. But I don't want to share that part of my life anymore. So I tried not to. I try to keep that very personal. And there's other people who just don't post anything, and that's fine too. It's just, it's created different avenues for people to show as much as they want to show or as little as they want to show.
Do you feel though that closing yourself off like that does kind of isolate you from creating new friendships, new bonds with people?
No, I don't think so, because I think as your life changes and your interests change and evolve, your circles evolve a little bit too. I mean, you have core sets of friends, because you and I are going, what, 15 years now. I think it's safe to say you and I are pretty well stuck together,
Right.
even from 200 miles apart. We still find time every week to record. We still talk. And we've joked that this is the main way we do talk, because if we didn't have this, I know we wouldn't talk nearly as much as we do. We would, but
Right.
it still keeps us connected, and it doesn't change how we feel about each other.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. And let's be honest, if I took like, and I'm only throwing it out there because I know he has a ton of followers. If you look at Donald Trump when he
mhm.
had 40 million followers,
Yeah.
I bet you could probably count, and maybe I'm wrong, on one hand, how many of those 40 million people actually knew him, were friends with him,
Hmm.
knew anything about his personal life. I mean, so 40 million, and when you say, oh my gosh, he's got 40 million followers, or Beyonce's got 30 million followers, or Taylor Swift has got all these followers, I bet you count on one hand how many of those people actually give a real shit about the person that they're following.
Yeah. I
Don't
agree.
get me wrong. I'm sure that someone who loves Beyonce and follows her and listens to everything that comes off her Twitter account, they care for her, but there's not a connection there other than this social media connection.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just figure that for me, the acquaintances are nice, but I'm just very closed off to making a bunch of new friends like that.
Yeah. And yeah,
And maybe it's because I've been blessed because I have so many really close friends that I value every day, that I value for the specialness of that relationship, that I don't need the build on that. I don't need to find, you know,
well,
more people.
for me, it's consistency. I like, there's just some people you can always count on to be in the certain parts of your life, and vice versa. Um, as you get older, like life gets busy. With smaller children in my life now, my interest in things I used to do are very different versus what I do now. So I would love to keep up with some of the people I used to keep up with, but I can't, because I've got to go do this other stuff. And in doing this other stuff, you meet people that you find that you have common ground with too, and you start building relationships with them. So it's a fluid situation. Doesn't mean you can't circle back and rekindle friendships and get back to the way things used to be, but life changes. So you have to be able to evolve and distinguish, which friends are able to understand that and be cool with it. And if some don't, hey man, more power to you. It doesn't mean I'm not here to help you if you need anything, but I'm probably not going to pick up that phone to call you all the time anymore or whatnot, because I have to go handle this over here. And this is the priority of my life now.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And those priorities obviously change, but acquaintances change too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I've known that I don't talk to anymore, and
Yeah.
they don't talk to me, and I can't imagine they're crying over spilt milk. But if I didn't talk to you or Dean or some of the really close friends in my life, if I didn't talk to you guys on a regular basis, it would be painful. It would be a hole in my life that and maybe that's how I maybe to summarize it, that's how I would differentiate between an acquaintance and friend. An acquaintance leaves, small hole. When a
Yeah.
friend leaves, that's a huge hole.
Yeah. And you learn real quick, you know. So
Yeah.
as we wrap up today's show, if you have your own thoughts on what's a friend versus an acquaintance, how you tell the difference, we want to hear about it. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Carnage. If you want to help our EP Tom make some friends and or acquaintances in the Denver metro area, hit him up at liquid_EP on Twitter and the Instagram.
Wow. That was a good topic, man. Good.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out
You
one of
should.
our listeners. Give us the topic. So shout out to Dan for the topic today. I think it's a very interesting topic, and one we could probably go a whole lot longer on, but we do have to end the show at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we could go for an hour, but we'd hate to put you through that. So we'll take it for what it is right now. How's that?
That's it. That's it. So with that being said, Jason, take us home.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. We always appreciate you. We consider you guys very, very, very important acquaintances in our lives. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some liquid courage.